if I can switch to my my hotspot. I think that might fix it.
Okay. Okay. Hello to everyone that's watching. Welcome to the inaugural live murder mystery. John's gonna be back. Welcome to the first live murder mystery to fund for the National Ataxia Foundation, and I'm doing it today because today is International Ataxia Awareness Day. And so thank you to all the viewers and to the 6 participants. We have 6 participants. One's just not on screen since I can only put 6 on screen at once. And also, what is the National Ataxia Foundation? It's an organization that funds research laboratories all over the country, actually all over the world, and they try to search for a cure for the degenerative neurological condition, which has thus far been incurable, called ataxia. And as some of you watching may know and some may not, I have an unknown form of the spinocerebellar ataxia. So therefore, with more funding, the National Ataxia Foundation may define those forms and actually diagnose me and find a cure for all the others who have named conditions. Anyway, now here's how the game will work. If you've ever watched Andrew Barth Feldman's Broadway Whodunit, this is nothing like that. I'm my own unique murder mystery creator. This game is divided into 2 rounds or acts, and then in each act, each of these 6 participants will have the chance to interrogate anyone else with a set of 3 questions. Then after the 2 acts, and everyone gets to ask 2 sets of 3 questions, everyone will be able to accuse and make their theories as to what they think happened before I, as the detective, reveal what my department found, i.e. the answer. And then, how can you as the audience participate? Great question, glad you asked. In the description, it says you can tweet about this using the hashtag IAADmystery. That's in the description. And so here's the story of the game. Nicholas Lipton was a Broadway actor in Chicago. And in this theoretical world, there's no pandemic and there are shows still going on. At the Cadillac Palace Theater, he was shot by someone in the pit orchestra. Every participant here is a member of that pit orchestra and therefore is a prime suspect. Okay, now before we start, let's have everyone introduce themselves as both their real names and their characters. Say your character name and occupation. I'll start. My name is Cameron Dingerson, and I'm playing Detective James Rogan, who is the CPD detective leading this case. Now, Jon.
Yes. My name is Jon Matteson. I'm Paul Graham. I play trumpet in the orchestra. I'm not sure if I play first trumpet or not. I'm probably not first chair, but I'm really excited to be in the orchestra because it's sort of always been my dream to play music for a Broadway show. Because, woo, I love musicals and I love hearing that trumpet in the score. Can I ask a quick question?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, maybe I'll wait because you may explain it. So I'll wait.
Okay, Robbie.
My name is Robert Malerk. Today I'm Matthew Starr. I'm the only trombone player in this pit, and I was also the only trombone player rejected from the pit for New York's Music Man revival. The only trombone rejected from that, but I found something.
And Dillon.
Hello, I'm Dillon. I play Alex Cryer, who was the residing drum set player. I just like playing musicals. They're always fun to watch. So in your downtime when you're not playing, you get a nice little show. Just it's fun, not too difficult, but hard enough.
Makayla.
Yes, my name is Makayla McPhedran. Today I'm playing Faith Thomas, and I am the tuba player in this pit orchestra. And I enjoy playing tuba because I love getting the bass lines and the foundations of the music. This particular show hasn't been my favorite show so far, but it's fine. We like playing music. We're here.
Okay, and Noah.
Hi, I'm Noah Mollett, and I'll be playing James Walker, and I play the cello in the pit orchestra, and I studied music theory back in college, and since then I've worked my way up to be on the Broadway pit orchestra, and it's doing good.
Okay, and lastly, Gabby.
Hi, I'm Gabby McMillan. I play Mary Taylor, and I am also a musician in the pit. I play violin, and I have callus built up practicing for this instrument. And I've been so excited for playing this show.
Yes. Okay. Now, before starting the interrogation, here are just some clues that my police department found in their initial investigation. These clues will help you know who to question. Firstly, the last phone call to the victim before he died was from Paul Graham. And secondly, Mary Taylor is licensed to have the gun that was found outside the Cadillac Palace Theater. Now, before we start the interrogation, does anyone still have questions about the logistics of the game? Jon, you had a question. You're muted, Jon.
I wanted to know if the murderer knows who they are.
They do. It says in their character sheet that they're the murderer.
Got it. Okay, I'm good. No other questions.
Let's see if Rob and
Maybe that was a bluff. Maybe I knew. I don't know. You don't know.
Anybody else? Okay. So now that I've spoken for far too long, let's start the interrogation with Mr. Graham. You can choose who you'd like to question.
Yes. Faith Thomas.
Yes.
You're my best friend, and you'd never lie to me. Did you murder him?
No. Why would you ask me that straight up?
Because I trust you. And because I trust that you would be honest with me, and I just wanted to get it out of the way in my head. I was like, okay.
I would be honest
Faith
with
would
you.
never lie to me. What?
I thought that we were good enough friends that you would assume that I wouldn't be the murderer.
Of course I assume you're not the murderer. I just wanted to, I had to ask. I had to get it out of my head.
All right.
I know you're not the murderer. You told me the truth. I'm not going to murder. I'm not going to ever doubt you again.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my only questions for Faith. Matthew Starr.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's been a while.
How have you been? How's the rest of the family?
I mean, the family's fine. You know, the past couple of days have been a mess.
Really? What do you mean?
I mean, my roommate was murdered. That's why we're here.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's your roommate too. Did you get along with him?
I mean, yeah, as good as any roommates get along with each other.
Well, roommates sometimes don't get along. Trust me, I know. But did you have any fights with him at all?
I mean,
maybe he left some dishes out, and you were like, I always do the dishes. Why don't you ever do the dishes? I'll kill you. Like, did you ever have any fights like that?
I mean, nothing that severe. I've never made a threat on his life. I mean, sometimes he gets frustrated when I try to help him out because I listen to him sing all the time, and sometimes he's a little bit pitchy, you know. And me being a trombone player, we're perfect when it comes to pitch. We never mess up.
Yeah.
So I know what to talk about. Sometimes he's just so stubborn.
Yeah. Okay. So you never said anything like, "You're a little pitchy. Maybe you'd sing better if you were dead," or anything like that?
Nothing so blunt.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean nothing so blunt?
I've never...
You said something else similar to that?
I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth? Well, I have no more questions. Not right now. With the evidence we see right now, I have no more questions.
Now, Mr. Starr, you may ask 3 questions of one person, or you can divide them.
All right. I will start my questions off with Alex Cryer.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, look at us. Who would have thought we made it here? We used to be co-workers, and now we're playing music in Chicago. What are the chances of that?
I mean, obviously, it can't be too low.
I guess that's not really a question. So my actual question is just, why didn't you ever tell me you played drums?
It just wasn't a big deal. Never really came up.
I mean, we could have made a band. Drums and trombone, that's all you need.
We worked in a McDonald's, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You were my manager. You were always on me. Like, I didn't consider us that great of friends.
Wow. All right. I get it. Whatever. I guess then I will move on to Faith Thomas.
All right.
I had a question for you, but then I've forgotten it. So I will...
I think that counts. That's the question right there.
I will say some words until it pops back in my head. But how long have you been in the pit orchestra for the show?
For this show, too long is the answer. Truthfully, I have a hard time remembering. The days have kind of blurred by. As I said, this isn't a show that I really like. And lately it's just been like I don't know. I just wanna be done with it. It needs to be over. Which I guess now things are gonna at least change no matter what. But I can't give you that clear of an answer only because it's been too long. I do not remember. But I'm not new to this show, I'll tell you that.
All right. And then I will follow it up with, why didn't you ever leave to go find a new show? Because you're pretty good at what you do. You probably could have found a new show.
Well, like, for a while it's just been like, it's my job, you know, I'm just too tired to like try and find something different. But additionally, you know, it's not like I don't have friends here. Paul Graham is my good friend, and I would miss it if I didn't get to hang out with you and have fun goof offs. And additionally, Mary Taylor is also my friend. And these two people, I would miss them. And I'm not totally sure that I would find a better job. But I don't know. I'm probably going to start looking for a different job as soon as this whole thing gets over with.
Mm-hmm. I believe that was my 3.
Yes. Miss Taylor, you may ask your 3 questions. Never mind, I will move on. Mr. Cryer, you may ask your 3 questions.
All right, let's go to James Walker.
Hi.
Hey, I don't know you very well. I've seen you around, but like, what do you play?
I play cello.
Cello, that's right. Would you say from where cellos generally sit, or do you think you have a pretty good view of the stage?
I mean, it's probably not something people would pay for, but I'd say it's not an awful view.
But enough to take a shot at somebody on stage, perhaps?
I wouldn't know.
Fair enough. All right. And then I wanted to ask Mr. Paul Graham.
Yes, I'm an open book. I just love to be here. Also, does anyone want to order falafel? Just because we're investigating a mystery doesn't mean we can't get something to eat.
That sounds great, actually.
James wants falafel. Falafel? Great. I'll order falafel. You can Venmo me later. Anyway, what's your question?
I gotta ask, why are you and Faith such good pals?
Well, we both came up in music school together. You know, here's the real secret. I'm not a very good musician. I'm surprised I made it this far, all the way to a Broadway show. I barely made it to 5th chair, if I'm honest. And Faith, you know, Faith always had faith in me. She hates it when I say that, but she believed in me when no one else would. And I just love musicals, and I just wanted to be in this pit so bad. And sometimes when I'm playing, I just want to lose it and break my instrument. But I went through anger management courses for that. I know, it's just 5th chair is. They added a chair just so that I could play. And well, anyway, I would do anything for Faith, even kill, but I didn't kill. So I hope that answered your question.
And for my 3rd question, I'll ask you the same thing I asked James. Where do you sit in front of the stage? Like, are you really close to it? Are you further out? Do you have a good view?
Well, sometimes I think the conductor's embarrassed of me, so I'm really close I'm kind of off in the corner of the orchestra. So I'm very, very close to the stage, like the lip of the stage. Underneath the lip of the stage, I guess, all the way kind of in the back, you know?
Yeah. Okay. That's my 3.
Okay, now back to Miss Taylor. You may ask your 3 questions. Gabby, Miss Taylor.
Silence is. I'm not saying that it means that she did it. I'm just saying that there's. I don't know. Did she do it?
Okay, well, she left. Hopefully it's coming back. Mr. Walker.
Okay. Well, most of my questions were going to be towards either Mary or towards Stephanie, but how convenient that neither are here, you know? So, yeah, I guess I'll just go around the room here. Mr. Graham, how are you?
I'm a little hungry. I'm looking forward to getting that falafel.
As am I.
But other than that, I'm good.
Okay. Solid good. Miss Taylor,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Glad to have you back.
All right. Cool.
Miss Taylor, just out of curiosity, Detective Rogan said that there was a gun found outside the theater and it was registered to you. So my question, and Mr. Rogan, please correct me if that information was wrong. Miss Taylor, why do you own a gun and why was it outside the theater?
The reason I own a gun is because I have a FOID card and I was trained with my parents in a very hunting-esque family, and then moving to the city, they were like, you should own this. And so I did. I carried it on me just for safety purposes, but I discovered before the show that it was not in my possession anymore.
So you don't know what happened to it?
I do not know what happened to it. At any time between, I don't know, last night to before the show, it was gone.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you, Miss Taylor. And I guess my invisible questions to Miss Ryder would be, why'd you do it? And I hope you enjoy prison. So, honestly, that's about all I have with the information that we've been given. It's nice to see you all again. I hope you all have been doing well since the investigation began. And yeah. That's me.
Okay, now to close out Act 1, Miss Taylor, your 3 questions.
All right. First off, I want to start off by talking to Faith Thomas.
All right, here I am.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to my birthday party last night. But I do have a quick question. Pardon, I seem to have lost the question, but I had it a moment ago. Oh, right. So when we were departing, you mentioned something about like any experiences with Paul? Because you guys have been really close friends, so I just want to know, like, how are you guys?
It's good. Paul is one of the only reasons I'm still doing okay right now, because things have been crazy. You know how my sister went through that breakup, and it's been really rough. I've been trying to do my best to help her, but I don't know what I'm doing really. And Paul has just been the biggest help, even just letting me complain. I really appreciate it a lot, and I'm very grateful to have Paul here, because otherwise I don't know how I'd be doing right now.
That's awesome. All right. My next question. I want to talk to Alex.
Shoot.
I don't know you all that well, but at the same time, I feel like I could get to know you more, especially in the case that we're in. You know, trying to find out
Fair.
what's happening. So, yeah. Just want to double check. What instrument did you play? Do you play? And
Yeah, I play drum set off on the
all
side.
right. So with playing drum set, there's a lot of noise that can be made. Were you hiding anything? Not that I'm pointing fingers, but my gun is missing, and I'm also kind of mad about that I haven't found it yet. Besides it being found outside. So, how you doing?
I mean, I'm doing great. Not too happy to be here, but you know, yes, a lot of noise is made, but at the same time, I got a bunch of stuff in front of me. I got drums, I got cymbals. Even if I wanted to, it'd be hard to actually get a shot off unless I was way up here, in which case I feel like everyone would see anyway. So.
Alrighty. Cool. And then my one last question goes to James Walker. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Hey,
We
man.
went to college together. It was fun.
Yeah, we did. It's nice to
Yeah,
work with you
I'm
again.
glad seeing you here because, hey, same pit. Who would have known?
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So that being said, glad seeing you back. But before the show, what were you up to?
Nothing really. I do my typical pre-show routine. I drink plenty of water, make sure that I have my sheet music, make sure no one's messed with my stuff. And yeah, I just do my usual routine, basically. I wasn't doing anything.
Cool. All right. I didn't really have anything direct, just my gun gone. Why?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well, that was just like for a general to the crowd, but yeah. All right. That's all I got.
Okay, now that was the end of Act 1.
Did I ask questions? Did I get a chance to ask questions?
I thought you did, but okay, Miss Tom.
I do not remember asking questions, but I might just be going crazy. Can other people
I don't think you did.
I don't
no.
think she did. Also, can I make a comment? Am I allowed to like make just a comment in general?
Only if the falafels are ready.
Yeah, I also got a text about the falafel. They said it's going to be about 30 minutes. So
All right.
it'll be here about an hour and a half.
Okay.
But
I wasn't on screen when you ordered those. I really hope you ordered me some.
of course,
You can have
almost
some of
everybody.
mine, Faith.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
I think it's funny that no one, including myself, has asked if people knew the victim.
That's what I want to ask. I want to ask people.
But it's more of a criticism for myself. But I just love music. I'm just happy to be. I'm happy to be in the band, in the orchestra.
I'm glad you're here. Your enthusiasm brings some light to my cold and dead soul. So it's great.
Faith,
No.
you all right?
Well,
You don't get any more questions.
All right. That's fair. Fair is fair.
Okay, so now, since I accidentally forgot you, Miss Thomas, you may ask your 3 questions.
all right. We are gonna go for James Walker.
All right.
I don't know you that well, which is unfortunate because it sounds like you and Mary Taylor know each other, and
Yeah.
Mary is amazing, and I love her. But
Oh, she doesn't talk.
I did want to know, how well do you know the victim?
Pretty well. We went to high school together. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I hated the guy. Him, and I'm 98% sure he hated me too. We were arch rivals in high school, and he, well, okay. Story time. I was dating Stephanie Ryder in high school, and me and Nick competed in everything, and I mean everything. And near the end of my relationship with her, she cheated on me with him. So he literally like stole everything from me. I haven't heard much about him since high school. And when I heard that he was going to be in a show that I was in the pit for, I wasn't exactly ecstatic. But yeah, I haven't talked to him in like 4 years. So I don't know. Maybe he's a changed person. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let me. I got to question other people.
All right.
I want to ask the same question to Alex Cryer, because you're another person that I don't really know.
What? If I know the victim?
Yeah, how well do you know him?
Not very well. I know of him. I'm not huge friends with really anyone in the show because it's just sort of a side gig until I can get all the way through college. So I'm just here, just trying to make as much money as I can so I can not have student debt. But it's not the easiest.
Yeah, that's relatable. My final question is for Paul Graham. So,
Yeah.
you know me, and you know you can tell me absolutely anything in the whole world.
Yes. Yes.
Did you kill him?
That's a good question. That's the same question I asked you, if you remember. I did not kill him, but I did know him. And we did get I went to high school with him. And we had a heated argument over what the best color is. I said cerulean, and he said maroon. And I'm like, what a stupid color. Are you an idiot? Who picks maroon as their favorite color? It sounds like buffoon. And then I punched a wall, and then I've been taking anger management courses for a very long time. And I wasn't allowed to practice for at least 6 months because my hand was healing. But yeah, I knew him, but no, I didn't kill him.
I thought not.
Thanks.
Okay, now it's the end of Act 1. And now, before I start Act 2, I would like to reveal something else that my team found in our initial investigation. I don't know why I didn't say it the first time, I just forgot. But there were many complaints the victim filed to the stage manager and director. They filed a bunch of complaints against Miss Thomas. So I wonder why. But first, let's go to Alex Cryer. You may ask your 3 questions.
All right. I'll just go straight to Ms. Faith. Why do you think complaints were reported about you?
Oh, I know exactly why. We've been getting into heated arguments like every single day for the past around a week, because that's when he cheated on my sister and they broke up, and my sister has been having just a terrible time ever since. And I will admit, I've not been very professional towards him. So we've had heated arguments. And he's filed complaints, but it's all right. I will do anything for my sister. To copy what you said, even kill, but I didn't kill.
Well, I suppose that's technically a motive. But I've seen a few of those, so I can't point fingers yet. Mr. Paul Graham.
Yes.
how have your anger management classes been going? Do you feel like you've been improving? Same old, same old?
No, badly. They've been going badly. I can't sleep at night. I just wake up with these horrible nightmares. And I just want to break something. But I would never shoot something. I take out my management through destroying walls and breaking lamps. I have a whole stash of lamps that I keep just in case I need to, like, my therapist said, this would be really good for you. Just keep some lamps in reserve in case you need to break something and you don't want to break something really important. So lamps, vases, things that make like a loud glass breaking sound. But I would never shoot anybody. So,
I mean,
no,
guns do make a pretty loud noise.
Yeah, but they don't make that beautiful shatter sound when you break something, you know, like crash, you know. It's just a gun sound is just a gunshot is just so pedestrian. A vase breaking, that's art.
I see. You should have picked up drums instead of trumpet. You'd have been great.
Hey,
So
yeah.
my last question is for Mary Taylor.
Uno momento.
All right, Ms. Taylor. How did you lose a gun?
You know, if I'd known, I'd probably tell you because I had it in my possession, but I left my bag out because I was carrying my violin. I had to get it all tuned out, but I ran out of resin, so I had to go run and get some resin to coat my bow. I came back, gun was gone. Or at least it had been gone. I didn't really check because it's not one of those things that I like to keep attentive of. Because as long as I know it's there, it's okay. I do keep attention of it. I've been like really nervous about this entire thing because I did have a restraining order against him, and now he's dead. So I did threaten to quit when he joined, but I'm still here. So I'm a bit nervous and shaky about this entire thing because he up and died because a shot was fired from the pit. So, sorry, back on the question. Yeah. The gun was off to the side. I was recoding my violin bow, and it was gone.
I see. That's my 3 questions.
Okay. Now, Mr. Walker, you may ask your 3 questions.
Delightful. Okay. Mr. Starr, I haven't gotten to talk to you that much. What was your what did you do that night before the show? Yeah, before the show happened and we all got in and then he died before all of that.
Tips again about his singing because, like usual, he was off key. And as everyone knows, trombones are flawless when it comes to that. So I have the authority to tell him when he's off key.
So you were giving a leading man advice on how to sing?
Yeah.
Okay. You ever fired a gun before, just out of curiosity?
I don't know. Not really.
Not really. Okay. And finally, Mr. Graham. First off, great to talk to you again. I know we haven't talked too much in the pit, but it's weird that we finally get to socialize in this situation.
Not the best circumstances.
No, it's not. Assuming you're not the murderer, we should hang out sometime.
Sure,
Anyways, yeah, right. Anyways, have you ever been guilty of anything? Like, have you ever been like charged in like a court with like robbery or violence or anything of that nature? Do you have a clean record?
So I am ashamed to say that one time I was driving on the streets of Chicago at night, and I was pulled over because my taillights were out. And I got a ticket for it.
Did you pay off?
I never paid that ticket.
Okay.
And I had to pay a lot more later, or they tried to get me to pay, and I never paid that ticket, and I still haven't fixed my headlights.
Even though your
Sorry to let everybody taillights.
Forgive me.
One of the headlights was out, and one of the taillights, and I'm sorry that this had to come out now in front of all of you. But
it's a ticket. We all make mistakes, Mr. Graham.
Stupid.
Forgive me if I'm not allowed to do this, but Detective Rogan, are we allowed to talk to you at all? Or we are?
Yes,
that'd be
you
great.
are. It will not help you, but you can.
Oh. So is basically what you're saying that you can't give me any more actual information?
I cannot.
All right. That is good to know. Have those been my 3 questions, or do I have one more?
You have one more.
Gotcha. Miss Taylor, when was the last time you fired that gun specifically?
The last time I fired that gun was, I'd say about 2 years ago. I was practicing it and making sure that it still worked in a I'm not good with words today, my apologies. In a range. I was practicing in a range to make sure that it still worked and it was all good and there were no problems with it.
Okay. So this gun has remained unfired, unreloaded for about 2 years now?
Yes.
And you carry it around everywhere you go?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay.
Now it's back to you, Miss Taylor. You may ask your 3 questions.
All right. I just want to start off with Matthew. Hi. I don't quite know you as well either. But I just want to double check with you. Could you by chance have known that the gun was in my possession?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, could you have known that I owned a gun?
I mean, you talk about it sometimes, but as everyone else does.
Alrighty.
You know, it's you don't have that big of a purse. It just kind of is there sometimes.
That's a valid point. Alright, that's all I had for you. The next question goes to Alex. What were you doing before the show? Like, what do you normally do to warm up before a show?
I just play a little bit. I sit on my phone. Just nothing too special. I mean, like I said, it's just a job. I don't have too much personal attachment.
Was there anything in particular you were doing today?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. Just getting ready.
Okay. And then my last question goes to Faith.
Yes.
I trust you with all my being. After all, like, we have hung out quite a couple times and the show has been great. You have definitely been there for me, especially with the cases of my restraining order against him. And just on my defense, because he's just not a good person. It was just... Anyway. What were you doing before the show?
Before the show, honestly, I just spent a lot of time trying to warm up my tuba. I was really tired with that specific show because I've spent so much time trying to comfort my sister. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. So I was a little bit worried that I was going to do badly in the playing tuba. So I just spent a lot more time than I normally do warming up the tuba. But that's what I was doing. You can ask Paul, because he wanted to talk to me longer than I got to talk to him, but it's like that sometimes.
All right. Well, I just want to let you know that you are a fantastic artist. Never doubt yourself.
Thank
you. Are fantastic. I love you. That's all I have.
Okay. Now, Mr. Graham, you may ask your 3 questions. Again, you're muted, Mr. Graham.
Detective Rogan, I have a question that is unrelated to my 3 questions.
Okay.
It's related to the rules.
Okay.
We can't ask you questions. You can't give us any more information, right?
I cannot.
Can you repeat the information you gave us at the beginning of this act?
Yes, I will. At the beginning of this act, the information I revealed was that there were complaints filed to the stage manager director from the victim against Miss Thomas.
Okay. I'm just going to talk for a second because it's clear I like to talk. I'm way better at talking than I am playing the trumpet. Because I believe in justice and I want this show to, for lack of a better word, go on. So let's talk motives. Unfortunately, I know my best friend has a motive. Who else may have a motive? And we know what the murder weapon is. But who would have had access to that? Who would have had access to Mary's purse? So my first question is for Mary. Mary Taylor. Where exactly did you last see your purse? Or where did you put your purse last?
I was backstage. All right, so before the show, I was backstage, and I had to find more resin for my violin bow. So I went to a fellow violinist, and I had left my purse next to my case because I thought it was going to be a quick thing. But there were a few moments that I had spent in order to just like have nice, quick, casual conversation with the fellow violinist who's allowing me to use their resin. So I came back, and the purse was open, gun was gone.
Okay.
I'd say that was about maybe 5-10 minutes that I had left it unattended.
Okay. Matthew, my good cousin.
How you doing?
What were you doing backstage before the show?
I feel like I've answered this a couple of times, but
I want you to say it again.
I was tutoring him because he is not the best singer. And you know...
Say his name. Tutoring who?
I was tutoring my roommate and good friend, Nicholas. But since we're so close, I call him Nick.
Okay. Now, I asked you what you were doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where exactly were you tutoring him backstage?
In his dressing room.
Shit. Okay, never mind. Those are my 3 questions.
Okay. Miss Thomas, you may ask your 3.
Okay. James Walker,
Yes.
how much time on average do you spend with Mary Taylor?
Not too much. I mean, we went to college together, but we weren't exactly like BFF inseparable friends. Like, so I've hung out with her like once or twice since we both got into the show. Like, we've had lunch between shows and stuff, but we're not like close.
All right. Let me think. I am having a
Take your time.
hard time coming up with questions that would actually be useful for us here. Matthew Starr,
Hello.
do you remember how your time with the victim ended? Like, I know you were tutoring him, and I do totally believe that happened. But like what was the last thing you said to him before that show, the infamous one?
The last thing I said to him after tutoring or before?
After tutoring him, telling him that trombone players have perfect pitch, even when we know it's actually tubas. But that's
First off, how dare you?
That's a different discussion. But
I told him the usual that I always say to him. I said, I know you've got it in you. And then I told him, good luck, patted him on the back, and went to the pit. And then a little secret, but as I was walking away, I heard him singing the part, especially in question that we were working on, and he was right back to how he was before. So, like, just completely disregarding everything I taught him.
all right, makes sense. Let me see. James Walker.
That's me.
If I remember correctly, you said you haven't actually talked to the victim in a very long time. But do you remember how that went the last time you talked to him?
I mean, when I meant like I talked to him, I haven't like held a conversation. Like out of theater code, I wished him good luck, break a leg, you know, because I feel like I have to. But the last time I like talked to him, oh my gosh, it was like, I think it was second year of college, because I think he wanted to reconnect, and I tried talking to him, and we talked about stuff that happened back in high school, and I ended up blocking him again because I'm done with him.
Makes sense. That's my 3, to the best of my knowledge.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, finally, Mr. Starr, you may ask your 3 questions.
All right. So, I've been thinking a lot, and my first question is for Miss Mary Taylor.
Yes.
First off, you said earlier that Faith came to your birthday party the other night, which, first off, I'm very offended I was not invited to. But to make it hurt even more, who else was invited to this birthday party?
I'm not gonna lie, it was a close hangout between Faith and I, but I did put out an invitation to the chat, the pit chat. Not a lot of people responded, or I just didn't use the right emails.
All right.
But yeah.
Then, to follow up with this, hang on. Mr. Graham,
What? You can call me Paul. I know we're distant cousins, but we're related.
Paul, you've said you'd do anything for Faith except for murder.
Yes.
Has she ever had you do something for her? Something you might not have normally done?
No, not really. She's never asked me to do something that I wouldn't do. And I think that's your question. Your question was, has Faith ever asked me to do something I wouldn't normally do?
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right. And then I believe my final question would be back to Mary Taylor.
Hello, yes?
So you don't, after your birthday party, did you check to see if you still had your gun? Or was it gone by that point?
I did not check. It was not on my mind to check because I trust Faith a lot.
It seems like a lot of people trust Faith. But
I mean, there were also family members at the party. But
There
then
was
again, I
family.
don't think my family would run into the pit and then shoot Nicholas and then run out. So I think that's out of the option.
so you're also implying that Faith could have possibly done the crime.
I mean, I don't want to presume that, but it is another option because I don't know where it went.
I want to break a vase!
Please do not break a vase. Just keep
Fine.
waiting on the falafel, Paul.
Yeah, there's got 3 minutes left.
Sorry.
All right. Seems like a lot of people trust Faith.
I mean, I've worked hard for a reputation to be somebody that is trustworthy.
So you're trying to make people trust you.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be trustworthy so that
Trying to be trustworthy.
I guess
Trustworthiness isn't something you should have to try for.
She is!
here's in my defense, you guys don't really know me that well, and I haven't tried to make you guys know me that well. It's only the people that I'm close with that I try to be trustworthy for. And in this group, that's Paul and Mary, and that is additionally my sister. And I would do anything for these people, but
Detective Rogan, am I allowed to just make comments as long as they're not questions?
Yes.
I mean, that's what I've been doing.
I would just like to establish to everybody that Mrs. Stephanie Ryder was also in the pit, and she's not here. I'd just like to point out that there's another person who could have shot Nick who's just not here today. And I don't think we're talking about that enough. Because there's no way in hell that she's innocent. She didn't even show up to the interrogation.
That's a little suspicious, I guess.
A little?
Suspicious.
I wouldn't think, I mean, I don't
Maybe
know.
she had a bad internet connection.
Even so, she should have told somebody at least. Doesn't matter. She killed him, and we'll find that out soon enough.
Detective
And
Rogan,
now we don't want to go saying that just yet. Like, I trust you, James, but at the same time, why are you bringing up her name? Because we know that she wasn't there, but at the same time,
Because she's guilty as hell.
we haven't even asked her anything, and she's not even here to be asking her. If
That's
anything,
right.
we keep reaching out to her.
Innocent until proven guilty.
If
But
you,
why are you pinning blame on her so fast?
because
When they're
obviously guilty.
interrogated right now.
Listen, James, if you need any help, like I go to a great anger management course. If you want me to refer you,
Paul,
I'd be happy
It
to.
can't be so great if it's not working out for you.
Well, I'm a lot better than I was. Trust me. You should have seen me go to a China shop.
James have the floor again.
Sorry.
Thank you. Paul, thank you for your recommendation, but I'm fine.
Okay.
In terms of Stephanie, I am pinning her so hard because she is an untrustworthy person from the start. If you'll remember, I dated her and she cheated on me. And then she doesn't even show up to an interrogation that she was summoned to. That's two very clear signs that somebody is clearly not trustworthy. I don't know what more evidence you all need. She in the pit. She had more than an opportunity to take something from Mary's bag. That's what I'm saying. All right? Because there's no way in hell that it's not Stephanie.
James, didn't you date her in high school?
Yeah.
Anyway, were you about to say something, Faith?
Yeah, I have a question for Detective Rogan. I do remember her being in the pit, but that doesn't necessarily... I don't want to say anything against her now when she's not even here. So, Detective Rogan, did she tell you that she wasn't going to show up to this investigation?
She
Did
did.
she have like a... Okay.
She told me very soon before it started that she just couldn't come.
How perfect. Sorry, I can't come to my summons. My internet gave out. That's not how that works.
Wasn't Stephanie dating Nicholas? Or did I miss something?
Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I can tell you that up until about a week ago, it was my sister who isn't here and also isn't Stephanie.
She dated Nick back in high school.
Okay.
I don't know if they lasted. From what I heard from Faith, they didn't, thank God. But no, I don't know what Stephanie was doing. I haven't really talked to her or even tried to in years.
Hey, James.
What's up, Mary?
Okay. This is technically a question, but it's more just asking about his well-being because he keeps referring to a past fling that he had before that cheated on him. Are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Is there anything you need to talk about? Because it seems that you're latching onto her for a while.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I despise Stephanie, and I'm pissed off at Nick. I hate Stephanie more than I hated Nick, but I don't. If you're trying to accuse me here, I don't own a gun. I've never fired a gun in my life. I'm very anti-gun. If you've seen my Facebook posts,
Yes, we have.
yes, I'm fine here. You can't say it's not suspicious that Stephanie didn't even show up here. Okay. And look, yeah, I'm still mad at them, but I've grown up. Okay. It's been years since that woman hurt me, and I'm fine. Okay? Thank you for checking up on me, Mary. I appreciate that.
Okay. Before the accusations, does anyone have more questions for anyone?
Oh, we just can use questions now?
Now you can I'll call on you and you can ask whoever you want as many questions as you want before your accusation.
Fantastic.
So does anybody?
Yeah, Mary. Why didn't I don't remember getting an invite to your party.
Then I must have accidentally sent it to the wrong group chat. My apologies. I am not the best.
Did anybody else get it? Anybody else get it?
Family
To be fair, I don't really know how to use apps.
Yeah, I'm a little outdated. I usually refer to Facebook Messenger, and our chat is on Discord.
Discord.
That's
the one I didn't download.
Okay.
I don't think it matters, but I'm just saying Paul is really good at Among Us. Just saying.
I love video games. Let's go.
If we're referring to that, I do know what that is. And that James is sus. No, I'm kidding. You are not. I'm just making a joke off the joke you were making.
Just saying, Paul's good at deception. No, I'm being serious here. I think, Paul, you don't make a good case for yourself, but I don't think you did it. I don't think you have a good enough reason to do it. Just because you're angry doesn't mean you've You have no way that you could have gotten the gun. Did anybody here know that Mary owned a gun? Does anyone here know that she owned one beforehand?
Yeah, raise your hand if you know I owned one. And James, I better see that hand up.
I had no idea. Faith, you did? You knew she had a gun?
Okay,
Yeah,
James,
but
I think you know.
It's been a really long time since I thought about the fact that you owned a gun because, like, you know, there was that time a few years back that you like showed me, like, you know, you showed me what you like to do with it and just had some fun shooting on the range, and that was really fun. And so yeah, I did know that you owned a gun. It's just been forever since I've like remembered that fact. It hasn't been relevant for anything.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Matthew,
Mary. Go.
Okay, sorry. Matthew did mention that apparently I make it apparent that I own a gun because I use a small bag. Matthew.
Yeah.
Am I oblivious? I had no idea.
Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, wait.
He made it apparent that apparently I show off that I have a gun, but it's in my bag and I usually keep it concealed so that way you don't know I have one. Mind explaining that?
I mean, I thought it was common knowledge, but I guess not.
So
It's really knowledge to me because I know Faith so well.
let me
Mary, what am I talking about?
let me lay down the story here, okay? Let's assume for the sake of this that Stephanie is fine, okay? Because we don't actually have evidence against her. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't think it's Faith. Now, hear me out. Faith was with Mary prior to the killing, knew that she had a gun. The gun goes missing. They're both in the pit, and she has a motive to do so.
That doesn't add up.
Okay.
It doesn't add up, Paul. Paul, think with your head and not with your heart. Do you think that this adds up at least a little bit? If this was me and not Faith, would you say that I look guilty?
Yes.
Boom.
Hey, Paul, have you ever been in love?
Me or Paul?
No, Paul.
Yes, and he has clearly mentioned that he had his heart broken and has not gotten over it since high school.
Thanks, Mary. Paul, you
You're
ever been in love?
Yeah, who hasn't? All right. Alex, you with me on this?
I'm just trying to not live in debt. I can wait for that stuff later. You think I can afford a girlfriend right now?
Quick question to Alex. I never asked you this, or maybe I missed it. How did you know Nick?
I didn't. I'm just here as a side job. Like, I knew he was leading man. I've seen him in as many shows as I can remember, but I was never buds with him. Never had a meaningful conversation.
Okay. That's fair. Just wanted to.
Can we ask the detective a quick question?
He can't give us new stuff, but he can tell us what he said.
So, really quick, Mr. Detective, are we 100% certain that the bullet is what killed Nicholas?
Yes, there was a toxicology report done on the body, but that was inconclusive. So there's no poison. It was just the bullet is all we found in the body. So that's what killed him.
Can I ask, where did the bullet hit? Do we know that information?
The bullet just
Nick,
went. The bullet went through his leg.
Through his leg? And he
So
died?
he died of blood loss.
Yeah. So did he die like on the way to the hospital, or
Yes,
did he die?
he died of blood loss on the way to the hospital.
Are you allowed to tell us, in the gun that was found outside the theater, can you tell us if that gun was fully loaded? Or do you not know?
I do not know. All that I know about the gun is that it, according to the ballistics, was the gun that fired the bullet and that it was licensed to Miss Taylor.
Okay.
How is it not?
Hey,
How can you all say that this is not Faith?
James, I will say I hear your theory, and it is a very sound theory.
It feels
Sound.
foolproof. Faith knew that Mary owned a gun, took the gun from the birthday party. Mary said that she didn't check that. She took it, killed Nick, and then chucked the gun away outside.
If I'm honest, I feel like the best proof we have to put someone away is against Mary for being an irresponsible gun owner. But I don't think she killed someone.
Can we? I would like to speak. It's been a bit. I I know that things look bad against me. But here's the thing. Things were going to look bad against me anyway because I have had things against the victim for a while. Minor things, and then a week ago they became major things. But now, like, it would be really not a smart thing for me to do. To kill him when everyone knows I hate him, and also to take my friend's gun to do it when that would possibly get her framed for murder. So why would I do any of that?
Mary, did you see your gun in your purse after the party?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
I thought you said you didn't check.
So, no, I did see it.
you saw the gun in the purse after the party?
You had your gun after the
I
party.
did check. I had my gun after the party. So, James, if you don't mind me, can you step down from leading for a moment because I want to say something in Faith's defense. You do have history with Nicholas, correct?
I do.
And it's not a history that you like admitting, and you do seem to have high rage issues, if you don't mind me saying. If you don't mind me asking, since you're so against the Second Amendment, it's not that hard to operate a handgun. And you are another one of the people who could have known but can be playing it off as someone who did not.
Then how'd I get it? How did I get the gun? Because it's your gun, right? I didn't know you had a gun.
It was backstage. You were also backstage.
How do I know you had a gun, and how would I have known where it is, Mary? I don't. I didn't.
I mean, you've tried to use him being backstage as incriminating, but all of us were backstage.
I know we all were backstage, but at the
Every
same
one of us,
time,
and
I
that's
find
not
it
very
really weird
incriminating.
that he's forcing the blame onto Faith.
Because
I
all of the
know
evidence
it's very
points
obvious right now, but I trust her. I trust her to not have put off something like that against me.
Mary,
To use the fact that I owned a gun, take it, and shot.
look at
I
this.
trust her to not have.
I'm asking you to look at this in a vacuum, okay? Let's assume that this isn't Faith, but all the evidence still adds up to this person. So it's not Faith. So you have no actual, like, friendship with this person, but all of the evidence I've presented still goes to this person. Would you say
Objection.
this is good enough evidence? Be honest.
It's impossible to look at anything in a vacuum.
Because there are a lot of holes that we have for other people here, such as Matthew. I'm not going to say Alex because you actually seem very chill. Because your only motive in this case would be college debt, and I do not feel like that is as.
How is that a motive? How do I get money out of
It's
this?
not a motive. That's
Just
why
get a-
I pretty much
like,
like
Alex
right now,
makes no
and you
sense.
were on drums. You were on
I don't
percussion.
even-
You were going away. So that's why I think you're really chill so far. I'm not going to lie.
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to the falafel after here. Like, I don't care. This is a sham. There's probably an inside job of some kind. Like, who?
Though, Paul, you did say objection earlier. Were you wanting to say something?
No, nothing. I just think it's impossible to look at anything in a vacuum because there's dust in it and a lot of and there's no light. So I guess my Faith, were you gonna say something?
No, I'm just agreeing. You're right about the vacuum thing. That was clever. I couldn't
James,
have thought of that.
what were you doing before the show?
I was doing everything I always do before the show, making sure nobody touched my stuff, making sure I was well hydrated, making sure all my sheet music was ready, and wishing all the actors good luck. That's what I do every night.
Okay.
You wish them good luck? Is that what you do, or do you say break a leg? There's a distinction in theater.
I say break a leg because the one time I said good luck, I got yelled at.
Did you also say Mackers when he said that?
I'm sorry, Mary, what?
Did you also say Mackers when he said good luck?
No, I didn't say the M word.
Guys, we're in a stage. We're in a theater. Everybody calm down and not say it.
We're not going to say it. We're not going to say it.
Now, I would like to point out since James Walker, you have got your heart set on the fact that it's me, that most of the evidence that you can point out against me can be against you too, with the exception of that you're claiming that you don't know about the gun, which, how do we know that? How do we know that you don't know that?
Well, it's simple, really. First off, I didn't know Mary had the gun in the first place. I told you, me and Mary barely talked just because we're in the same pit. I've hung out with her like once or twice to get food, and she didn't exactly go, hey, James, guess what? I own a gun. Because obviously that's not important when you're eating Steak and Shake. So I had no idea Mary had a gun. I wouldn't have found a way to take it, even if I did know that she had a gun. What else did you say?
How did Matthew Starr figure out that she had a gun and you didn't?
Matthew Starr. That's the other guy here. Yeah. Because apparently, according to Matthew Starr, she goes around and tells people, but she didn't tell me. I'm taking what Matthew Starr said, and I'm telling the truth here. I didn't know Mary had a gun.
Well, I can't say more to that.
Precisely. You can't. But you can say more to Faith. Just saying.
Okay, so now some of you have already made them, but now it's time for the accusations. So, Mr. Graham.
I won't betray my friend. I don't think Faith did it. I think Faith had a motive, yes. But I don't think Faith is the kind of person to shoot somebody in the leg. So I don't want anybody else to go to jail, so I accuse myself.
Okay, Mr. Walker, I just want to clarify, you're accusing Faith?
Yes. Can I lay out the full argument one last time?
Yes.
Thank you. Faith has confirmed that she is friends with Mary. She knew she owned a gun because she said she's used it before, or at least that Mary has shown it physically to her. She was with her recently at the birthday party, so she knew that the gun was there. Now, according to Mary, she went back and forth on whether or not she actually did check her bag, but let's say she did, and the gun was still there. Okay? So, before the show, Faith takes the gun, kills the victim, chucks the gun in the alley. She admitted that she doesn't like who this guy is. So, it doesn't... My accusation is against Faith Thomas.
Okay. Mr. Cryer.
This is a rough one. I've got too much evidence against too many people. Detective, if I could ask you 2 questions before I give my accusation.
Okay.
Do we have a layout of where everyone should have been seated in, on stage or in front of the stage?
My department and I are not privy to that information, but I'm sure we could figure it out.
All right. Well, in that case, my other question doesn't matter. I was going to ask what leg he was hit in. But if we don't know where everyone was, then that won't help very much. Then following that, Paul, did you just confess to a murder?
No, I just like everybody. I don't want to see anybody go to jail.
You didn't have to confess. You didn't have to make an accusation on yourself. You could have just said nothing.
Oh, well then I guess I accuse nobody then.
All right.
So just to clarify, Mr. Cryer, are you accusing Mr. Graham?
I am not. I am gonna have...
Can you tell us? There's so much evidence against everybody. What is that evidence?
Well, we've got Mary Taylor, who has motive, had the means. We have Faith Thomas, who also had motive and also had means. We have James Walker, who also has motive and potentially has means. Technically, everyone has means, but we have those three motives. Matthew Starr, I don't think has a decent enough motive based on vocal lessons, and I don't think you have the emotional capacity to murder someone.
I don't know how to feel about that, but thank you.
So, this is a rough one. I think I'm going to have to go with Faith Thomas on this one.
Okay, Miss Thomas, who do you accuse?
Well, it's kind of tough because the two people I already knew well, I don't think either one of them would do it. Neither one of them would murder someone. The other people, Matthew Starr and Alex Cryer, I don't know. They don't seem like people who would murder. James Walker, I mean, I think it's gotta be you. Because, like, we both know that this wasn't a very good man. But, like, I wouldn't have killed him. And I don't know you super well. I only know you from this investigation, but you seem like you have the ability to get angry enough to murder. And I mean in a murder, like in a premeditated way, not in the way that my good friend Paul gets angry. He would never murder someone based on that. But I'm accusing you, James Walker.
And Mr. Starr.
Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff here with a lot of evidence for all of them. But living with Nicholas, you pick up on some stuff about his past. And honestly, with the way I've heard him talk about James, I don't think he's got the balls to murder Nick. No offense to James. But that's just the way that Stephanie and Nick have talked about you. And Paul, even though he is kind of suspicious and he has these anger issues, he's never explained them as use of violence. He got in the argument with Nick once, and instead of taking his anger out on Nick, he took it out on a wall and broke his hand. And if he played trombone, he'd still be able to play trombone in practice because you can play with a broken arm, but he chose trumpet for whatever reason, which is why I'm going to have to accuse Faith Thomas. Also because of Paul's self-confession, I believe he's trying to attempt to draw the blame away from Faith and take the punishment away because he knows what Faith has done. He's trying to take the blame for it.
I can't lie.
You're not lying. You're just trying to take the blame.
Miss Taylor.
I was just thinking about something, and Faith has come with me to the ranges before. She knows how to shoot and she knows how to aim, but a shot to the leg does not make sense because if she had the motive and she was looking to kill, she could have and she would have. Now, in a more better, accurate way. Now, I want to continue on with that. Unprofessional aim and motive. James. He could have done it. He could have grabbed it. He says that he doesn't have any experience, but at the same time, I'm having my doubts, especially with all of him that he has been blaming and his past motives against Nicholas. Continuing on with that, with his inexperience with gun, that means that if he wanted to take a quick shot, especially playing, the cello, took an aim, pointed, quick shot right to the leg. Because that is an inexperienced shot.
It was James.
Yes, so that's why I'm saying it is James.
That's a great argument.
I know the point of debate is past, but in defense of James, he most likely hit Nick in the femoral artery, which is not an amateur shot. Also, the cello is a two-handed instrument, so for him to be able to do cello as well as holding a gun is unlikely.
However, also, if I could point out just one more thing. This has nothing to do with the current investigation, but I do also think Mary Taylor should be charged.
I agree.
Because, I mean, you don't just leave a fully loaded handgun in a purse.
It was not fully loaded.
I mean, we did ask if it was loaded, if it hadn't been reloaded in 2 years, and you said yes.
It must have had at least one shot in it.
So, all I'm saying is something should be done there, because that's something we know for certain. That's something we can charge. We have the evidence for that. But that's beside the point. I have nothing else to say.
Also, Mr. Detective, before you give whatever your theory is, can we, we're all still kind of friends, can we enjoy the falafel that should be here by now?
Yeah, I was going to say the falafel's here. Hang on 1 second, guys.
While he's grabbing the falafel, I do want to add to my argument that the cello can be balanced between your legs. I know because I've practiced it before. And second, the tuba, you're using both hands. Now,
You can
there are
balance a
music
tuba
breaks.
with
I'll give the point that there are music breaks, but at the same time, something seems kind of sus here.
Tuba can be played one-handed.
Tuba can't be played one-handed. Trombone cannot be played one-handed.
Personally, I'm tired of all this debating.
I
Detective
agree.
Broken, can you please tell us that Faith killed him?
Okay, I will give what my department found. First, I would like to dispute what Mr. Starr claimed that it would be a theory. It is not. My team figured this out, and they are highly coveted and respected, and they got it right. In the investigation, we determined that it was indeed Miss Thomas that killed Nicholas Lifton.
Let's go.
Okay, let me.
Boom. No,
Wait.
you don't get a defense. Take her away.
Hey, wait.
Faith, you lied to me.
Give me a moment. I'm
That was
really
the
sorry.
first question I asked. My first question I asked was, did you kill him? And you said you didn't. That was the very first question we asked tonight.
And then you tried to pin it on me.
We could have had 2 hours ago.
Now, okay. I'm really sorry, Paul. I know I wanted to spare your feelings, but so first off, the gun wasn't loaded when Mary had it. And I know this because I didn't think that she would have it loaded because that is irresponsible. So I went and got some ammunition.
Premeditated.
Not premeditated by that much.
By that much.
My sister asked me to kill him, and if you guys had seen what this has done to my sister, I'm really sorry, Paul. I'm really sorry, Mary. But
So the expert marksman decided to kill him on stage and hit him in the femoral artery in the leg.
well, I'll be honest. It wasn't on purpose to hit him in the femoral artery, and I'm also not an expert. I've learned briefly, but I was able to do it. When I was alone in the pit warming up my tuba, I was able to take the gun, put it there, and keep it there for until when I did it.
Wow. Enjoy prison.
I won't, but to be clear, I did this entirely on my own. I didn't talk to anyone about it except for my sister, but she didn't ask me to kill him in a way where she expected me to do it.
So we should arrest your sister too.
No, what I said is she didn't. What I said is she expressed the wish that she wanted him dead, which after what you did to her makes sense. But she didn't mean it like the way that I took it, but I couldn't handle it. I don't know. I can't. It's done now. I'm honestly not that
It's done
sorry
now?
for the man, but I'm sorry for.
Sorry.
It's done
Wow.
now? That's your response?
Want to convict yourself more to kill anybody else?
I
Can
would
you
never
kill
do
Stephanie
that.
too?
Only him.
I'll never play you.
Wow. This is justice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Okay. So thank you all for coming to see this. And I would also remind you that the reason I did this tonight is because it is International Ataxia Awareness Day. So I hope that through this, I know I enjoyed it. I hope some of you in the audience did as well. But anyway, I hope that you donated to the National Ataxia Foundation. And if you also want to learn much more about the uplifting topic that is ataxia, you can read Special and Unique, which is a book, a young adult book by me, not Detective Rogan, Cameron Dingerson. And it is a young adult novel about someone with ataxia and their struggles with it. So I would also like to bring that to your attention.
Where can we get it?
It's at, currently it is published only on lulu.com, Lulu.com. And I'm sure if you just look up Special and Unique or Cameron Dingerson, you will find it. And I hope to get in more stores after that, but currently it is on lulu.com only. And again, thank you all for coming, and I will bring Mr. Cryer back so you all can say good.
That was really fun. That was so fun.
Very adorable.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was so fun. I'd absolutely love to do this again in the future.
Yeah,
That was so
Same
fun.
here.
I'm so sorry, by the way, if I got aggressive to anybody. I
was great.
No, I'm kidding.
It was.
Did you see Paul? He was about to smash a vase.
It was so fun looking at the chat as this was going on.
Yeah.
Because like Paul would say like one thing that's super nice, and then everyone's like, "Paul,
Oh my god, Paul. Shout out to the chat for like honestly making me laugh because I had my phone on with the chat because my connection kept breaking, so I wanted to keep hearing everything that was happening. So I did see a lot of those comments and did take inspiration from some of them.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for that, and thank you for all the interaction, and thank you for you all for coming here. That is awesome.
Thank
Show
you.
up on my
Go donate.
story.
Yes, and please
Go
donate.
donate.
I also want to
Thank
say,
you so much.
I also want to say thank you to everybody who was playing. So thank you, Jon,
Yeah.
Makayla, Dillon, and Matt. I think I don't know. I don't remember his name. He's gone. The other one, Robert. Thank you, Robert. It was really fun.
That was
And lastly, thank you all for coming. And for those in the comments and for some of you playing, I would like to tell you that I do host these murder mysteries at least once every month. I have since June, and they are all posted to YouTube. So I would appreciate if you had the tiniest bit of enjoyment tonight, or if you just want to make me happy, you can subscribe to the CDKC Productions YouTube channel. And before you ask what CDKC stands for, it stands for nothing. That's a joke I have with myself because I don't like acronyms. So I have an acronym that means nothing.
That is
I love it.
fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, Cameron, this is probably my favorite one you've written so far.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was great.
This was a really good one.
I'm so glad I did this too. Like this was so fun.
Yeah, this was amazing. This was the first time I've gotten to play the murderer, and it was really fun. It was super great trying to act alongside all you guys, but between like, you know, the comments and you guys just being fantastic, I had a hard time because I was like, I just want to smile this whole time, and
It's hard.
I can't give away that I'm the murderer, even though
I would be
the murderer.
I would be such an awful murderer. Like the amount of times that I like convicted myself or drew suspicion to me was insane.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
No kidding.
Because I was like, it's Stephanie, it's Mary, wait, it's Faith. Like it was insane. You had
Have you ever played the game Resistance? The game Resistance?
No.
The game Resistance.
It's fantastic. It's essentially Resistance is like there's one person that's a spy, and everyone else, or there's two people that are spies, and the whole game you have to like question everyone to find out who the spies are, and it is just fantastic. I played it once with some friends, and someone was like going up to everyone saying, "Swear to me in real life, or I'll never trust you again," and it was really.
Jeez. That's taking it to another level, huh?
That's brutal.
This was so fun. Like actually.
This was really
I
fun.
love deception stuff so much.
Yeah, Cameron, keep these coming. They've been so fun.
I love
That was so fun. Cameron. Thank you so much.
I gotta say, it's been really cool to see like the evolution of them because like I was in like the first one, and so I've been in most of them. I think I missed one. And it's just been really cool to see like the evolution of the writing and the character development and everyone who's been in a lot of them, like to see their sort of improv skills go up. Because the first one was really like no one really had anything prepared. And then you had this one, which everyone was like really into their characters. Everyone was just making stuff up.
My only improv experience is these games. So this has been really fun for me. It was super great. Jon and Gabby, it was super fun to play like friends with you guys. You guys made me feel bad in real life that I had to betray you by being the killer.
Good. No, I'm kidding. But it was a lot of fun. I agree because like I was convinced I did not want it to be you.
I loved that like near the end there, like everyone in chat was just like, this is now James versus Faith in terms of who is right. That was just like, it's one of these two.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, my only chance to convince people it's not me is to convince them it's you. So
and you did everything you could. Like you guys couldn't have accused me better. It's just I feel like there was just more concrete stuff for Faith than there was for me.
Well, that's because Faith did it.
Yeah. I gotta agree with the most recent comment. Jon, that was a beautiful execution of Paul. Like,
yeah. Oh my
God.
God.
That was so good. That was tugging at my heartstrings so much.
Yeah. I wanted to put it back. I wanted Faith to be able to unmurder him.
And it was like the way that we were different is like Paul is in tears, like his best friend just betrayed him, and I am literally muted laughing my head off because I'm like, I told you, like that's so messed up.
That was brutal.
That's great.
Don't mind me just crying into my falafel.
I don't get any falafel now. I gotta go to prison. That's
no, you don't
the
get
worst
any.
part about all of it.
For I think it's the sixth time. Thank you all for watching, and now it has been an hour 40 minutes. I'm going to end the broadcast, but the 7 of you can still stay on this and bathe me with compliments. I wouldn't mind.
You did a fantastic job writing this, Cameron.
Yeah.
You did.
So really
All the characters the details were so perfect. I still wasn't sure. I really didn't know if it really was Faith. And everyone did a wonderful job, like improvising and acting this.
Yeah, that's one of the things I liked the most about this is because there were so many open ends. We could fill in the story like how we wanted to. Like the entire thing about Stephanie cheating on me with Nick is something I made up. All that my literal character thing said is that I don't like Stephanie and I used to date her. That's all it said.
That was it, really?
Yeah, it literally said
thought
you
that
don't
was
like
written.
Stephanie and
Yeah,
you
that just-
are convinced that it's
jeez.
her, and you don't know why. Like, that's it.
I love that.
I love that you made that up because that worked really well with the fact that my sister had a fiery breakup with Nick, because then I could just be like, oh, well, Nick's a cheater. Cool.
So we all know Nick's the worst. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, just because he deserved it doesn't mean he should have gotten it.
this is true. But
and if I was allowed to talk again, I literally would have just gone along the lines of like, oh, James is a bad shot because Faith would have done better than the leg. I'm like, we're in the pit, dude. You ever shot someone from that angle?
Yeah, that's like,
I was in the back. I was the tuba player.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you had a way better shot than I would have had.
That's why I was asking where everyone was like positioned, because like if we had a nice little layout, I could have gone, oh well, if he was shot in the right leg, they would have had to be on like this side. That would eliminate maybe a suspect or two.
I was like, but it wouldn't have mattered because I would have been maybe in the center, and I was the one who did it.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. Thank you all again. I tried the first time, but it didn't work. And I've never used StreamYard before, so I am going to end the broadcast. I think that means the 7 of you can still stay, but forgive me if it just kicks you out.
All right.